this is Rob Power. Today in Tacx Turbo Talks we talk to Sebastian Fini of CST St. Bafang mountain bike racing team about the World Championships. Alright, the World Mountain Bike Championships have kicked off in Mont-Saint-Anne in Canada earlier today, and we're going to hear all about it from our Danish cross-country star Sebastian Fini of CST St. Bafang mountain bike racing team. He rode the team relay a couple of hours ago and got the cross-country coming up on Saturday. Must be stoked to be there, Fini. How are you going?
I'm feeling pretty well. Personally, I had a really good start into the team relay today. I was the first guy to start from the team, and I went off, finished off in the first position. So, yeah, I had a really good feeling, but we had some bad luck in the team and ended up 7th. But yeah, that's racing. But yeah, personally, I feel good and I feel ready for Saturday, I must say.
So you were leading the World Championships in that first lap.
Yeah, you can say that. But it's a team relay, and we have 5 riders, and we all have to perform on a really high level to be the world champion in the end in the team relay. And today it just didn't work out for us. The last 4 or 5 years we have been on the podium, so was a bit disappointed today. But yeah, I mean, everything can happen. And today was just not our day for all the riders.
Yeah, I was about to say, because the last 2 years you got a medal at the World Championship in the team relay. So what is like the dominant feeling right now? That you had one of the fastest laps of the day, or is there like more disappointing that you missed out on a medal?
Personally, I'm happy. I had a good lap time, and best thing is that, I mean, the feeling was good out there. I went all out, but yeah, I felt good in the technical parts, and I felt strong on the climbs and so on. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always nice to go on the podium, but yeah, it's 5 riders who have to perform on a really high level at the same time. So yeah, I knew it could be difficult, but we always go for it. And yeah, today it just didn't work out. We had one of the riders crashed, and it just happens sometimes that it doesn't work out.
So how is the course over there in Canada in general? I've heard it's a pretty gnarly one.
Yeah, it's one of the more technical courses, really natural. We have one loop which is pretty flat, some corners and some technical stuff, and then we go on to the second loop after the feed zone with 2 climbs. Both grass, but also really technical climbs with tight corners and loose rocks and so on. So you really have to. It's not only about pushing watts in the pedals; it's also about managing your bike around the course. And yeah, of course, the downhills are really rough as well. It's mostly rocks. We have a big gap as well, a jump. Which is pretty difficult as well. But yeah, it's a really nice and natural rocky course where you really have to be on the toes all the time.
Is it sort of comparable with one of the World Cup courses that you've already been this season, or is it just something totally new for you guys this one?
No, I would say it's not really comparable with the courses we have in Europe. I mean, this course has been on the World Cup and World Championships for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So it's not new for me to come here to see the course, but yeah, it's something different than we have in Europe.
And I think today you also had the opportunity before the team relay already to do like a training ride on the course, like the official training. How do you prepare for that, and what do you pay attention to?
Yeah, it's, of course, I think we arrived here on Wednesday last week to get into the time zone and to look at the course, go for a course walk to begin with, to see, okay, which lines can we do here and here, and then we ride on the course several days, several laps, try different lines, what is easiest, maybe what is more smooth, what is better for what tires, what pressure, and we test different things, and you need some days for that. Um, so today I actually didn't go on the course because I knew it already before the team relay, so that was no problem. Um, but right now it's actually raining outside, so I think the course will change, um, especially for the juniors tomorrow. So probably it will be good tomorrow again to go maybe for a lap or two to see how the course is when it's raining, just in case that we will have rain on Saturday as well.
And how does it then change maybe the setup for your bike? Does it change your tire pressure, etc., that you've got sort of maybe like figured out for now?
If it's really raining and it gets really muddy, I would put some different tires on. But if it's just a little bit sticky, or just some wet rocks or roots and so on, I would just probably change the setup of the fork and the shock, and also the tire pressure. But I wouldn't change to mud tires if it doesn't get really muddy. So you need a lot of rain to get it really muddy here, I think. But it
What's
looks
more
like,
preferable? Sorry.
mm, yeah. What's more preferable? I would
Yeah.
say. I mean, today it was really, it was hot and dusty, and for the for the Danish riders, and personally for me, I think I prefer mud over 30 degrees and dust. But in between is the best, I think. I like to do mud races, but it's not that often that we have a real mud race where it's all just carnage and mud everywhere and so on. But and it's not gonna happen here. It looks like it will only rain this night and then stay dry till Saturday.
Okay. You mentioned the word carnage, and always when I look at the start of a race, of a cross country race, or even the short track, it always already seems like carnage at the start. How is that fight? How is that fight for position? That first couple of 100 meters.
Yeah, it's all about getting a good start here. I mean, you have 1.5 hour to be in the best possible position at the finish line, but the start is really important. You need to find your pedal really fast, and then you go full gas. And if you're in the middle of the pack around, I don't know, 40, 50, 50th position, then it's really hard to go left or right or overtake and so on. So yeah, that's always why it's good to be at the front in the start, but it can also be negative if you start at the front line and you go too hard in the beginning because you are too motivated or too eager. Um, but I have the feeling like you have 1.5 hour to pass guys. I know it's good with a really good start, but if you go over the limit in the start, the first lap, or maybe just the first 5 or 6 minutes, then you have to pay the bill in the end of the race. So for me, it's always a balance in the first laps to find a good rhythm and stay, around where I want to stay, and then I can hopefully move up in the end, because some of the riders get exhausted towards the end of the race.
So where do you usually have your highest power output? Is that then at the start, or is it somewhere on the climbs?
Nah, that's at the start.
Yeah.
The maximum power output is always at the start, except if you, I don't know, for example, have a sprint finish, but you never on the course you never reach those really high watts, like you do in a start. There's no point of doing it. I mean, yeah.
And usually, like it's a really technical sport, but on the other hand, there's also a bit of endurance, a bit of explosiveness. How do you combine that all in training?
Yeah, I do both road and also mountain bike. I mean, I train, for example, the longer rides. I sometimes do on the road to get the endurance without getting too exhausted in the forest. I mean, if you go 4 or 5 hours in the forest on a single trail, your body is completely broken. I mean, you're screwed up, and it's so much easier just to go 4 or 5 hours on the road. You don't have to think too much, and so I try to find a balance between that. And I also do both my intervals on the road and in the forest. So a good mix of those two, I prefer.
And then, so do you also still have like maybe something like drills for your bike handling? Did it come natural to you, or?
Yeah, we have some. I mean, we have a lot of mountain bike trails, just 5-10 k's from where I live, and I mean it's not the most challenging trails, but you can always find challenges in the not so challenging trails. I mean, just try to go faster in corners or do some other lines, or I mean, there's lots of things you can do, and yeah, of course you. I go to so many places around the world. There are a lot of different difficult tracks and routes. So yeah, I will get the technical stuff around the world, I would say.
And did you grow up on a racing mountain bike, or did you start on the road, or how did you get into the cross country work?
No, I started actually in 2009 when I was 14 years old. I used to play football, and then yeah, my uncle had a mountain bike, and then I tried that once, and I thought it was really really nice. So I bought my own one and started in the local club, and yeah, from there on, it just went really quick. I think 2 years after I was national champion in under 17, and then yeah, from there on, yeah, I've reached to where I am now.
Which has 16 national titles. I saw on your
Yeah,
page.
that's true.
Quite impressive already. 24 years old now. What do you expect for this weekend?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's hard to say. Normally, I actually don't go into a race with a a finish position goal, or I mean, it's nice to finish somewhere around where I think I can be, but if I think too much about it, if I think like, oh, I have to be top 20, and then on the day I'm just not there and I cannot reach it, then it's just yeah, that's bad for my thoughts. But I think yeah, I felt really good the last weeks. I think I'm in the best shape I've ever been. So I would be really happy with the top 20, and I think that's really possible on Saturday.
That would be also would be I think like a step forward again, because you keep taking those leaps from when you enter the pro circuit, better and better. What's the ultimate goal for you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this year I made a big step. I had some really nice results all over the world and the whole year. I mean, in the future, for sure, next year I want to go to Olympics, and to do top 10 there would be really nice. That's a big goal. But yeah, I'm always dreaming of being world champion, but we will see. I will do my best for sure.
Obviously, still a bit of competition, and then maybe Mathieu Vanderpool needs to stick to the road as well instead of the mountain bike, or not.
Yeah, I hope he will just continue with the road cycling, but next year I know he will be there, and I mean I know him a little bit, and yeah, he's a good guy for the sport. I think also it's good that he can compete on the very highest level and beat some of the old guys in the circuit to bring some new power into mountain bike.
All right. Okay, we're going to the Tacx Turbo Talks fan question of the week. You may have already seen it each week on the socials. We ask to send to the fan questions in for our guests, which what everyone did this week as well. And this week we have a question from GoPro X, and he wanted to know if you do your leg work in the gym. Do you do it before or after the training?
Normally, I go to the gym in the morning, and then I go on my bike in the afternoon. I try to keep at least 4 or 5 hours between the trainings. I think that's for me most beneficial.
Okay, awesome to know. Always pretty interesting to hear about a little bit of the training routine of the guys like you. We're going to finish it up with some rapid fire questions, so just some short questions and short answers.
Yeah,
Are you up for that one?
yeah, sure.
All right. So an e-mountain bike, yes or no?
Yes,
Uphill or downhill?
downhill,
If you have one bike for the rest of your career, is it a hardtail or a fully?
fully.
Short track or the team relay?
Team relay.
Bart Brentjens or Nino Schurter?
Nino Schurter.
Does the team owner approve with this one?
I don't know.
What's your favorite race?
World Cup, Mont-Saint-Anne.
And who's going to win this weekend the World Championships?
Nino Schurter.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Awesome to have a chat with you in a busy week. All the best for Saturday.
Thank you very much.
And also, obviously, for the rest of the season, hopefully getting to that top 10 position in Tokyo next year as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the talk.
All right. That's it for this week's Tacx Turbo Talk podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way to spread the word about the podcast. This was Rob Bau with Sebastian Fini of CST St. Bafang Mountain Bike Racing Team. Stay tuned for new Tacx Turbo Talks next week.